So well, do you have a pet at home, specifically a cat? I feel they are a bundle of joy, but at times, this bundle of joy turns into a bundle of mischief. And let me tell you, it's no fun when these cats show you their wicked side. Now, you must be wondering, why am I telling you this? That's because in this session, we shall read and discuss a poem which talks about a cat. And let me warn you, this isn't a normal cat. It is a criminal, a master of disguise, awfully dirty, and has kept the best criminal agencies on their toes. So, I guess you too are excited to know more about this cat. So, just hold on to that feeling before it vanishes, because first I'll be telling you about the poet T.S. Eliot. The poem Macavity the Mystery Cat is the best known of Eliot's old poems book of practical cats, the only book Eliot wrote for a younger audience. Macavity, also called the Mystery Cat and the Hidden Paw, is a master criminal. In the poem, he is portrayed as too clever to leave any evidence of his guilt. Born on 26 September 1888, Thomas Stearns Eliot was an essayist, a critic, a playwright, and one of the well-known poets of the 20th century. Some of his famous poems are The Wasteland, Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, Journey of the Magi, Naming of Cats, and many more. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1948. Now, let us get back to our poem and its explanation.
Macavity's a mystery cat. He is called the Hidden Paw, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair. For when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there.
In this stanza, the poet describes a mysterious cat called Macavity. The cat is a mysterious figure and is referred to as the Hidden Paw, as he is the criminal mastermind who disregards law. Even the famous detective agencies like Scotland Yard and the Flying Squad are unable to find him. He is the cause of the bafflement to the detectives, which means a state of confusion or being puzzled. When they reach the crime scene, the mysterious cat is not there.
Macavity, there's no one like Macavity. He's broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare. And when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement. You may look up in the air. But I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there.
Now, in this stanza, the poet tells us that there is no one like Macavity. This cat seems to have broken every human law. He has even managed to go against Newton's law of gravity. He has the power to rise or float in the air. This makes even the best of fakirs and magicians stare at him in disbelief. But when one reaches the crime scene, Macavity is nowhere to be seen. The poet also says that one may look for the cat in the basement or in the sky, but Macavity is found nowhere.
Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly domed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake. And when you think he's half asleep, he's always wide awake.
Now, in this stanza, the poet gives us a description of the mystery cat's physical appearance. He tells us that the cat is brown in color, very tall, and has a thin body. His eyes are sunken deep, and eyebrows are lined with thoughts. This is probably because of continuous planning of criminal activities. Then the poet tells us that Macavity's head is round in shape. His coat, that is his fur, is dusty, and his whiskers are tangled and unkempt. He moves like a snake, swaying his head from side to side as if in search of some prey. And even when sleeping, he is sure to be alert. He is found awake.
Macavity, Macavity, there's no one like Macavity, for he's a fiend in feline shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in a by-street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime's discovered, then Macavity is not there.
In this concluding stanza, we see that the poet says there is no one like Macavity in his devilishness. He is a cruel and an unpleasant creature in the guise of a cat. He is a monster of wickedness. One may see the cat in a pavement or in an open public place, but when people come to know about a crime there, he just disappears. Our mind distinguishes us from other animal kingdom. Our development and survival depends on our intelligence. We all are intelligent, and in our own possible way, we use our intelligence. As we have seen in the poem, Macavity is intelligent, but he uses his intelligence to defy law, to break the law. He is an outcast of the society who wastes most part of his life escaping and hiding from the police. Here, if you look at the poem closely, you can interpret Macavity as you yourself. Sometimes we become Macavity, trying to put down others by using our own intelligence. When we argue with our parents, trying to prove them wrong and our intelligence right. Many a times, when our parents try to correct us, we often tell them proudly that they aren't that educated as us. But let me tell you one thing. Being educated is not being intelligent. Intelligence is the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. Just being in standard 8 doesn't make us intelligent, or just by scoring good marks doesn't make us intelligent. Therefore, it is up to us how we use our gift of intelligence. Now, the second theme that the poem highlights here is the importance of laws. Laws are important for a society as they serve as a norm of conduct for the citizens. A law acts as a guideline as to what is acceptable in a society. Without laws, there would be chaos, there would be confusion. Now, it becomes your responsibility to see to it that laws are respected. Whenever you find your father or mother breaking the traffic signal rules at the squares, it is your responsibility to stop them from doing it. As per Section 129 of the Indian Motor Vehicle Act, wearing a helmet is a must for two-wheeler riders. So, if your parents step out of the house without the helmet, remind them about this law. This would define your intelligence. So, These tiny acts of intelligence is surely going to make a huge difference in our society and country as a whole. So, we now call it a day. Until then, take care and stay safe.